Challenges and rewards of teaching English in Vietnam. Let's start with the rewards because there are so many of them. One of the biggest rewards for me has been the opportunity to live in Vietnam and experience the local culture firsthand. I've had the chance to understand how people think, how they interact with one another, and how the family structure works here. For example, in Vietnamese culture, the family unit is very important, almost like a small government structure. Interestingly, women often handle the family's income even when the man is primary breadwinner. Another amazing aspect has been the freedom to travel. Vietnam is a beautiful country and traveling here is easy and affordable. I've been able to explore different parts of the country, and one of the highlights was riding a motorbike. I've been riding for 2 years without a license, and I've only been stopped by the police twice. I'm not sure I'll ever experience such freedom elsewhere. Living in Vietnam is also very affordable. I rented a studio apartment in Ho Chi Minh City for just $200 a month. My monthly expenses, including food, were around $200 to $300, and I could buy clothes for as little as $3. Motorbike rentals were also quite cheap, between $50 and $70 a month. Even seeing a doctor only cost about $20. So, despite inflation, it's still possible to live quite comfortably here. One of the biggest rewards, though, has been my work. I absolutely love teaching in kindergartens. Watching my students grow, seeing them progress from just saying a few words to holding full conversations in English, that's something I'll never get tired of. It's probably the most rewarding part of my journey here. Challenges and solutions. Now let's talk about some challenges I've faced, and I'll give you my solutions right after. Salary. As a non-native English speaker, I was earning around $1,300 per month. While it's enough to live comfortably in Vietnam, it's not a great amount for saving. Inflation has made it harder to live as comfortably as before COVID. Solution. If you are from the Philippines or a similar country, this salary might be decent for you. But if you are from a Western country, you could aim for a salary of around $2,000 if you decide to take part-time jobs in addition to your full-time job. Still, I wouldn't recommend coming to Vietnam for money. It depends on your financial goals. If saving $500 to $800 a month works for you, then great. But personally, I would go to other places such as China to earn more money. Problem number 2, walking in the cities. I love walking, but in Vietnam, walking can be a challenge. The sidewalks are often filled with motorbikes, street food stalls, and cafes. So you end up walking on the road with cars. It's not the best situation for those who enjoy long walks. However, I found that taking weekend trips to national parks or hiking outside the city was a great solution. I did it by finding groups that organize hikes and weekend getaways to beautiful nature spots where you can walk freely. The nature in Vietnam is stunning, so it's worth taking advantage of these opportunities. Number 3, attention to locals. Actually, from locals, right? Not to locals. In smaller cities, you might find that people give you a lot of attention as a foreigner. They may stare at you, talk about you in a language you don't understand, or even point and laugh. I personally have experienced it many times where people look at me, talk to each other with other Vietnamese people, point their finger at me, and when I walk past them, they start laughing at my back. This can feel uncomfortable after a while. I would advise to accept it as a part of the experience, and it's important to understand that there is a cultural difference, and locals, they see foreigners as something of a novelty, like white monkeys, for example. So just enjoy your experience. Food. While Vietnamese food is great, I'm a bit picky when it comes to my diet. Outside of pho and banh mi, which are the first one, pho is the Vietnamese noodle soup, and banh mi is a sandwich, Vietnamese style sandwich. Outside of them, I wasn't too keen on other dishes, so I ended up cooking a lot for myself, and that's the solution, that you don't have to rely on local food. Even though it's quite affordable and you can save some money, you can always cook. Many Vietnamese people love cooking, so you can do that as well. However, I had problems finding some ingredients for salads, for example. But nevertheless, I could always cook a delicious meal for myself. And the last one is the legal processes and scams. Dealing with legal matters like visa extensions or document legalization can be tricky, as many people are looking to make extra money off foreigners. The official price might be low, but not just few people do it the official way, because you basically don't have time to do it, right? So the agencies offer their services, and that's when you look for around $1,000 to spend on getting a working permit and a temporary residency card, I mean. And so my suggestion would be that I would ask the company that I signed the contract to work for, I would ask them to deduct the cost of documents from my salary, and splitting the costs 50-50. This way you would get your salary a bit lower of your salary, but you will not pay anything upfront, right? So don't pay anything upfront. Or even if there's no way that the company is paying for you, try to split the fee 50% before, 50% after the service is done. Thank you for listening and watching the video.